Good morning, everyone. Peace and love to everybody. Thanks for joining me here live or recorded for our meditation. One of the things about meditation is that it can be a hard thing for people to do. If you have a ritualized practice, if you practice at the same time and in the same space every day, it gets easier. Well, today, I want to talk about imperfections. And here's a quote. The quote, "Your imperfections do not shock me. I see myself with so many," is attributed to Saint Teresa of Avila in a letter to a layman, and it reflects a spiritual and humble perspective on human nature and compassion. She understood that imperfection is an intrinsic part of being human. Who's perfect? Recognizing one's imperfections leads to greater empathy and less judgment toward others. I suspect that Teresa understood this for a similar reason that I understand this. During my near death experience, Life Review, I experienced the equality of humanity's limited nature in comparison to the unlimited perfection of God. True spiritual enlightenment doesn't come from working at your personal perfection, but from recognizing and accepting our flaws. This acceptance humbly allows individuals to connect more deeply with others and with the divine, as it acknowledges the shared human experience of imperfection. It encourages compassion for oneself, which really matters, and for others. And these are core tenets of many mystical traditions around the world. As we learn and understand and live non attachment to our egoic selves, we cease to project our expectations of perfection on ourselves and therefore on others, and instead recognize our limitations and similar limitations in others. Only God is perfect. In this way, we can see more clearly the light inside ourselves and others, which builds bridges rather than burning them. Now, Saint Teresa of Avila was a 16th century Carmelite nun and a mystic whose writings significantly contributed to Christian mysticism. Her words often focused on humility, love, and the inner journey of faith. Now, why is that? Probably because she had a direct experience in union with the divine, the result of which is a sort of humility of her own limitedness in the face of the unlimited, which just then afterwards applies to everyone she meets in her life. She sees the relationship of her flaws with the relationship of everyone else's flaws. Everybody's got these flaws to them, and she identifies that way. People say, "Hey, no judgment," which always feels to me like a judgment. Rather simply to see them as human beings. And in seeing the other people as human beings, one sees oneself the same way, and one sees oneself as a human being, meaning flawed, both human and divine. It creates an equality, an equal relationship, not one above the other, but all of us in relationship to the divine. This is a a practice of simple meditation that we have here on Wednesdays and Mondays. Tuesdays, we have our Kriya Yoga group, and you can find that at my website, peterpanagore.love. We're a couple years into it. We're reading the Yoga Sutras, Rumi, and we're deep into the practice of breath, body, mind, and energy movement. Mondays and Wednesdays is a simple practice of centering prayer, and that's a practice that involves breath and a chant and sitting and a ritualization of sitting at the same time if you can, in the same space if you can, in order to make it easier. And the goal of this is to step aside from oneself, to humble oneself. not by belittling oneself, but by controlling the mind and stopping the monkey from running around the loop in your head. And in that way, learning non attachment to self. And in that way, understanding one's relationship to one's life, who you are, where you're from, and how to live in community with others. Treat them as you want to be treated. So there you go. Hey, Susie, welcome. I'm glad you're here this morning. Peace and love to you. I hope that's helpful. Let me know. I'm open to critique. I'm always open to critique. I'm here trying to help you with this. So let me know if it is. And if it isn't, let me know. If you want something different from me, let me know. I'm here trying to help. So we're going to set a 20-minute timer. The meditation, if you're first time here, it's super simple. Feet flat on the floor if you're sitting. If you're lying on your back, lie on your back. You might not need a pillow. If you can keep your neck in alignment with your spine, that's good. If you're lying down, I sit pretty straight when I do this. I put my hands in this form on my lap. I close my eyes. I breathe into my belly, expanding my belly like a bellows. Gently pause. Then release and ride with my breath up to my nose or my forehead, my third eye, and repeat my chant. I use the Jesus prayer. You can use Om, you can use love or peace or whatever you want to use, aiming your heart at the divine. All right. Hey, Siri, set a 20-minute timer, and whenever your mind wanders, just go back to your chant. And it takes practice. That's why we call it a practice of meditation. Begin with 3 ohms. Feel the vibration in your chest, your throat. Push it up up to through your jaw to your forehead. Set yourself into your body. Now into your belly, into your centering practice. Letting your lungs fill naturally. mind wanders, return to your chant. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Hi, Catherine. Peace and love to you all. Thanks for liking and subscribing and supporting and all that.